Hi everyone, hope you're all well. In today's video, we're going to talk about e-commerce websites. So e-commerce websites are basically online platforms where businesses can sell their products or services to consumers. And these websites allow customers to browse through a range of different products, add them to shopping carts, and make purchases using various payment methods. E-commerce websites can vary in size and complexity, from small stores with a few products to large marketplaces with millions of products and multiple sellers. Some e-commerce websites are owned and operated by a single business, while others are a multi-vendor platform that allows multiple sellers to list and sell their products. Some common features of e-commerce websites will include product listings. So this is essentially the website displays the products with details like names, description, price, images, and other kind of relevant information. A shopping cart to essentially allow customers to add items that they want to buy and keep track of their total cost. E-commerce websites need to have a payment gateway to securely process transactions and accept payments from customers. This can involve payment platforms like PayPal, Stripe, Klarna, and other sort of secure payment platforms as well. The website should have a system for managing orders, tracking inventory, processing returns, processing any refunds. And some e-commerce websites offer customers the option to create accounts, which allow them to view their order history, track shipments, and save payment details for future purchases. And a good e-commerce website should also provide customer support, like a live chat, email, or phone support to assist customers with any questions or issues that they may have. When you're building your e-commerce platform or website, there's several different platforms that you can use. They can vary in terms of pricing and how to use them, but it all really depends on how customized that you want your website to be. Some different platforms include Wix, Shopify, and WooCommerce, and we'll go over some of those today. So Wix is a really popular website builder that allows users to create and customize websites, including e-commerce websites as well. With Wix, you can easily create a professional-looking online store without any kind of coding experience. They offer features like product listings, shopping carts, really popular payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, Square. There's shipping and tax options, a really good customizable design, and a customer management system as well that allows customers to track their order, manage their refunds, manage their order, and anything like that. There's a range of additional features like email marketing, social media integration, making it a really comprehensive e-commerce solution. Overall, it's a really affordable and friendly e-commerce platform suitable for small to medium-sized businesses looking to create an online store quickly and easily. To get started with Wix, you need to create a free account and just type in your email and password. And what's going to happen then, it'll take you step by step into deciding, okay, what kind of site do you want to build, what features you want to add, and things like that. So what kind of website are you creating? You can choose between things like online store, portfolio. If it's an event booking website, you can also choose that. So there's event management, event planner, things like that. So you would just type in what your business type is and just select which one is closest. The purpose of this is just to kind of see what kind of features you might already want. And then whenever they populate your site, they'll use sort of placeholder content. So they'll use images relating to what kind of website you're creating. And then you want to select the name of your website, whatever that is. And now there's going to talk about the types of features that you want to add. So they've got an event platform. So the event platform will let you sort of create events, sell tickets, track whoever's booked to go to an event, things like that. So that's included based on the website that we chose. You have the option then of a chat function. So when someone logs onto your website, they have the option of opening sort of like a chat bubble. If there's any questions, then anyone online on the back end of the site can answer that. Then in terms of other features you can add things like an online store. You can add forms, any contact forms, any subscribe forms. That might be useful, so we'll click on that. You can take bookings, so this is different to events. So events is more, you can create sort of different like away days, you can create experiences and different kind of events. And then bookings is more of a appointment type thing. So if there's different appointments that people want to book for you, they can do that, and they'll be able to select the date and time that suits them. You can also add blogs. So blogs are a really good way to kind of drive traffic onto your website, and to kind of keep your website constantly updated with new content, new updates, things like that. So you can add that as well. And just kind of go through and see which kind of features you think would be suitable. Specifically for this example, I'm just going to use the events. I'll take out the chat, blog, and then some forms. And then once you're done, you just want to click next. But this isn't permanent. So if you decide you wanted to add something, but later you decide, oh, I don't need that functionality, you can take it out. If there's functionality there that you think you might not need, you can add it in later. So we didn't add the online store, for example, but if you wanted to add a store later on, we still have that option there. So start setting up your website. So with Wix, you have two options. You can start with a template, so they'll show you different templates, and Wix will then you can just go in and change the content. Or Wix will create a site for you within a few minutes based on what you've already selected so far, and they'll ask you for design and things like that. With both options, it's not set in stone, so if you see a design that they give you and you don't like the colors, you don't like the font used, all of that can be changed, all of the content can be changed. It's just more how much time do you want to spend building in the beginning. So we'll click this one for now, get a custom built site. And you can see there's a bunch of different templates that you can go through, and you can just sort of view them if you wanted to. For example, this one, if you click view, this is essentially what it's going to look like, how people can navigate through it. And again, so this template is just there, so you're not starting off with a completely blank slate. You can go in, change all the content. If you want to change the font styling, the colors that they use, that's all editable. Or you can just go back, see which one you prefer. So yeah, it's very user friendly. It's very much select what you like and then just change the content. For this example, I think we'll just go for something like this, just to keep it simple, and we'll just click edit. And once you hit edit, the site will then load with all of the pages and all of the content. So you can see on the left all of the different options you have. So you can add things like elements, add different sections, change the site design, things like that. When you first load the site, there's a few things that you might want to get rid of. So all of the page code and all of the ADI things at the bottom, they're not needed if you're using the template. So all you do is just click the minimize button for this one, and then just click on the page code. That kind of tidies that section up. But essentially you can see that the site's been loaded, and you can sort of scroll through and see what it looks like, and from there then you can decide if you want to change any of the font styling and things like that. To preview a site, what you want to do is just click on preview, and that'll open up your site without all of the edit mode options, and then you can just kind of go through the site as a user. That again, so you can see, okay, this is how I scroll, there's content here, and yeah, just kind of go through the site as a user, see what's missing, see what you want to change, and things like that. Product page, things like that. So now that you have your site developed and you've got all the pages that you want, the next thing you want to do is add the online store to the site, and you do that using the apps section of the website. So you want to go into the site in edit mode, and then where it says apps on the left, add apps, just click on that, and it'll take you to the Wix app market. And you can either search through apps and you want to look for the Wix eCommerce app, or you can go down to the sell online, just down here. And you will see the option for Wix stores, which is free to install. And you just want to click on that, and then it'll start installing all of the pages and the section on the dashboard as well. Let's just click add to site, and you can see now everything's loading, so it's adding the Wix stores. And once everything's all done, you'll be automatically redirected to the new shop page. And you'll see all the options come up here. So you've got your sort of almost like a guide here, so start selling, adding products, defining shipping regions and payment methods, things like that. If you come back into the shop page, so you can see you've got your general kind of shop grid. So when you first upload the online store, you'll get some placeholder products. They'll have like some basic information, product name, cost, product image, things like that, just so you can see how everything is going to be laid out. To just set up your shop page, what you want to do is maybe add something like a title and maybe a small description as well. So if we increase some spacing over here and then bring the shop grid down a little, we've got space at the top now for a title and maybe some content as well. So if we go into the add elements section and click add heading 1, and then drag the heading 1 to the top. And again, just increase the sizing and the padding and the section heights to however wide or however tall that you need it, just so everything fits nicely on the page. And for the shop, you can just, for the title, you can just call it shop or shop our products. Just something to let customers know this is your main shop page and where they can browse all your products, things like that. And we'll add a bit more space to add some text. So you want to go into add elements, text, and then go into paragraphs and just pick from the 3 paragraph styles that you have. And then just add the paragraph here. And you just want to add a quick paragraph, not only and then just edit the page as you need. So I'm just going to bring this grid up again. So now that we have the page set up, one more thing we can do is also just manage the actual grid. So if we click on the grid section here, we've got the grid toolbar, and if you click into settings, you can see you've got options to show a specific collection. And collections are basically categories. Wix call them collections, but they're essentially a way for you to organize your products. If you want to organize products by product type, if it's an accessory, if it's clothing, if it's a food item, you can create different collections and then assign each product those collections, and that way you can organize your pages and your products into those categories. So for example, this is a general shop page, but then you can have another page dedicated to a specific collection. So if you had a collection for food items, then you can have a shop page for food items, and it would only show products that are assigned to that category. So if we had another category for food items, we would select that. Then within layout, you can you've got different options for layout width, so you can stretch to full width to take up the full width of the screen. Display style, you've got some options on how you want to display the grid as well. And then product info alignment, so this information here, it's left aligned, but you can also choose to center align or right align it. And you can choose the amount of columns and rows that you want, the spacing between each of them, the image placement as well. So if you wanted to change the image placement so that everything's sort of side by side, or if you want it above the info, things like that. So you've got a good few options in terms of how to style the grid category. And one thing you want to do then is also come into settings and show what's actually displayed. So by default, product name, product price, and the ribbon will always be displayed. Ribbon meaning this little bit of text here, so within each product then you can add a little ribbon, whether that's bestseller, new, sale, just to kind of attract more attention on specific products. And then you can also choose to whether or not include a name and price divider as well, which is just that little line. But if you said you don't want to show the ribbon, or if you don't want to show the product price as well, that's up to you. You can control all of that within here. And then you can choose if you want to view more products through load more, or if you want to use pagination or infinite scroll, things like that. Another thing that might be useful is for you to use something called filters. So filters will sort of add themselves. So if you click on show filters, then it'll basically by default add a price filter. So people can use the price range to filter products that are within a certain price range. And then another thing you can filter by is things like color or size. So as you add products, you can add things called variable products, where one product may have different color options, or they may have different size options. So those options then become things that people can filter by. So we can show this once we add some options to the products, but that's just another thing that you can do with a shop page. You can choose to show the filters, or if you just want people to scroll normally, then just uncheck that show filters box. You can also add sorting. So by default it's checked off, but if you switch it on, you can just allow sort of like a sorting box over here, which kind of adds itself on the right hand side, and you can allow customers to sort by whether it's a new product or not, price sorting, or sort by alphabetical order. So you can give those options to your customers as well. And last few things you can do is just a design. So you can change the in general, like the background color of the shop grid, the product color, product name color, product font color. You can change all of that as well. And you can change the name of the text as well. So with the button text, it says load more, but you can change it to say view more products, and the out of stock text by default will say out of stock, but if you want to say in stock soon, something like that, you can change the text as well. So it's up to you how you want to style it and what options you want to show the user. What would be good would be to keep the filter and the sort by, just you want to make the experience easy as possible for the customer. So adding those sort of filter options and sort by options as well will help sort of them navigate around your site. So as well as the shop page, what also gets added is something called the product page, and this is essentially the single product template that every single one of your products will show. So when someone clicks on from the shop page, when they click on a product, this is essentially what they'll see. So they'll see the product image, they'll see the product name, the SKU number if it has one, the price, and the 2 color options, or whatever color options that they have. If they have even more options, for example size, they'll have that, and they'll be able to show sort of like the product information, refund, return policy, things like that. So this is just this is almost like a template basically. So if you come into pages and then go under store pages, click product page, this is a general sort of template of what every single product page will look like once you add all of the content. And you have some options for styling. So if you click into the grid to this template page here, you just want to click on settings, and you'll see the options that you have to change the product page. So if you go into main and then click customize page, you can select the page layout, things like, so this is the classic layout. If you want to look at the sleek layout and see if that works better, they also have something called stunning, which is a bit more image heavy. It's got the text within the image, things like that. Or we can keep it spotlight or simple. There's 5 different layouts basically for you to choose which one you think would work best for your products, and you would just select one of them, and all of your products will follow that layout. It's essentially the template page that you have. And then you also have the option to stretch to full width. So right now this is within the container, but you can also stretch it to full width. If you realize there's a lot of information to put on the page, this might help not make it look so squished. And then you can also choose where to show the thumbnail. So this is referring to these images here at the bottom. So you can add more than one image to each product, and you can decide sort of where to put those thumbnails, whether it's at the bottom, to the side, as dots, things like that. And within the settings, so you can choose what's displayed. So if you don't add SKU numbers to the page or to any of your products, you just want to uncheck that, and that will hide the SKU number from the product template. And things like quantity, if you don't want people to have the option to choose more than one of the product, then you can hide that as well. And the information sections, which is referring to this section here, so the product info, return and refund policy, shipping info, It's up to you if you want to keep those in place as well. And with the add to cart button, so there's different options of what happens when someone clicks add to cart. They can either show a success pop-up, open a mini version of their cart, or go directly to the cart page, or stay on the product page. As a good rule of thumb, it's good to just open a mini cart. That way if it'll show up almost like the product's been successfully added, but they're still on the page and they can add more products if they want to. And then with the text, so you have the option to change the button text for add to cart. So either call it add to cart, or you can call it add to basket if you prefer. And then you've got the design as well. So with the design, you can pick sort of like the opacity and background color of the actual grid. You can also pick the design of the actual product details in terms of the name, product price, options, things like that. And then the buttons as well, you can decide how you want to customize that, if you even want to customize the style or the border, things like that. So there's lots of options you can do in terms of the design of the actual page and what layouts you want to use. You are restricted to using Wix's own layout, but you've got 5 different layouts to choose from, and you can also choose the text color, font sizing, things like that. So it is pretty flexible in that way. And then once you're done, obviously just click save or publish to make your site live, and that's essentially your product page and your shop page set up. The other pages that you'll also get is something called the cart page. So this is a default page. Once people start adding things to their cart, they'll be able to see the list of all the things that are in their cart, and they can review and remove things if they need to, or add more things if they want to. And then they also have the thank you page. So this is right after they've successfully completed their purchase. They'll be given sort of like an order number, and they'll be giving a sort of overall of what they've bought, how much they've paid, any shipping address, billing address, things like that, an overview. And you'll also get a confirmation as well when someone's successfully purchased a product or products. You'll be given an order number and obviously all of their details of what they bought, where it's going, things like that. So that's all the pages, and once you're happy with everything, you would just click save and then publish live when you're ready. In the next few videos, we'll go over sort of adding products. You can add both physical and digital products if you wanted to sell maybe books or some PDFs, things like that. And then you've also got quite a few options in terms of shipping and delivery, or if you wanted to set up a click and collect store. And then we'll also go over how to set up collections and collection pages, things like that. I'm going to show you how to add a product. You can add both physical products and digital products, physical being an actual item, for example, clothing, accessories, food, things like that, items that can be shipped or collected by a person. And the other option is to sell digital products. So these are things like any files, any images, any PDFs, things like that. So products that can be downloaded essentially. So they won't require any shipping or collection or anything like that. They'll just need to purchase a product and then they'll be sent an email with the product included. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a physical product. So once you're in your dashboard and you set up the online store, you'll see a tab called Store Products. And if you go into products here, you'll see your product dashboard. So these are a few products that have already come with the site. So these are all physical products, and all the products that you add will be added here. So if you're ever looking for a product to edit or to remove, you just go into products and look for the product here. You can either scroll through each of the product, or you can search by the product name. So to add a new product, you just want to click add new product, and then you're given the option of digital file or physical product. In this video, we're just going to go over physical product. Once the page is loaded, you'll see it's a blank version of the back end of a product. So it's things like the any images, product info, product name, all of that we have to fill in ourselves. So the first thing you want to fill in is the product name. So for example, if you wanted to sell a yoga mat, you would just call it yoga mat or whatever appropriate name it is. And this is the name of the product, and it's what's going to show on the product page, it's what's going to be displayed on the shop pages, things like that. The next thing you want to add is any images. So if you click on add images, you have the option of adding multiple images and not just one. So again, you can either upload images from your computer, or you can use media from Wix, whichever one suits best. For product images, it's always best to use the actual product image and maybe how it's being used, things like that. But yeah, you're not limited to one image. You can use a few images as well. The next thing you want to do is add the basic info. So the name being the name of the product, which automatically should fill in once you fill in the name up here. The next thing then is to fill in the ribbon. And this is just a bit of text like new arrival or sale to kind of make this specific product stand out a bit more. If it's a product that you're wanting to sell a bit quicker, if you're wanting a product to be showcased a bit more, adding that little ribbon will kind of draw attention to that product a bit more. Just to show you what it looks like, you can see this product has the ribbon bestseller, and this one is a bit more eye-catching than the rest because it's got that little bit of text over here. So the ribbon text is optional, but it's a good option to have if you are wanting to draw more attention to a specific product. And you can see with the ribbon, it will show up ribbons that you've already used before. So for example, new arrival, if you've already used it, it'll add itself. It just means then it kind of remembers the options that you have, and you don't have to constantly make new ones all the time. So the next thing then is the description, and this is just a basic description of the product. So you want to add things like product size, how it's meant to be used, any instructions, things like that. With the products as well, you can sort of stylize the text that you have. So you can add sort of bullet points, numbered bullet points. You can also bold some text as well to make certain parts more sort of eye-catching, things like that. You can also add links. So if you want to link to an external website, or if you want to link to another page on your website, you can do that as well. So if we highlight maybe exercise and then click on the link tab, we can either link to an existing website or you can link to an existing page on your website, maybe to a blog, something like that, to kind of increase the internal linking a little bit. The other thing you can add is additional info. So you can add additional info in terms of for example, refunds and returns, and whatever text you want displayed underneath that title, you would just add within that section as well. And then you can also add maybe how to care for your product, things that would be beneficial for the users to know, and you don't want it to get lost within like the product description. So you can add it within the additional info section, and then it'll appear separately to the product. And then the other thing you want to do is come into the collections and make sure you assign it a collection. So as I said before, you can assign it to more than one collection, or you can just assign it to the one collection. By default, it'll always assign itself to the all products collection. That's just so it shows on your shop page. But then you can assign it to another collection if you want, or all the collections if that's the case. And again, if there's a collection here that's not been created yet, you can just create a new collection just like that and type in the name of the new collection. The next thing then is pricing. Now this can be different depending on what kind of product this is. So for example, if this product comes just with one option, so just this has just the one option and no kind of color variations, no size variations, then you can just simply give it a normal pricing like that. And then if it's an on sale product, you can then give it a discount. So if this product is not on sale, you can give it a percentage discount or a pound discount, or you can say what the sale price is, things like that. And then that way, when it's displayed on the site, it'll show up as a sale item and not as just like a normal item, to kind of make that a bit more eye-catching. The next thing then is things like cost of goods and profit margin. So this information won't be shown onto the user side. It'll only be shown to you, and it'll be good for you to just so you know how much profit you're making for each product. and it's good for kind of reporting as well. So you don't have to use this, but you can use it if you want to. So the profit and the margin fields fill in by themselves. You just need to type in the cost of the goods, whatever that is, and then it'll tell you automatically how much profit you're making per product and how much the percentage of that product is. But again, the users won't see this. It's just you who will see this, and it'll be good for kind of your own kind of reporting, things like that. The other thing then is custom text. So if you're selling a product that can be personalized, so for example, if you're selling a product that can be personalized to people, that can be personalized in terms of what name they want, if you can engrave a name onto a product, then you want to make sure that you get all that information before someone buys the product. That way you're not having to email them or call them back asking what personalization that they want. So if there is custom text that they can add, or some way they can personalize the product, what you want to do is under the custom text field, click add custom text, and then you can add the questions that they need to ask. So what name would you like? And then you can give it a character limit as well. If you know there's a certain limit on the length of the name or whatever it is that they're personalizing, you can give it a character limit. And then you can make that a mandatory field or not. So mandatory field means that they have to fill in something with the custom text. If not, then they won't be able to purchase. So it's up to you if you want to give people that option. And you can add a lot of different customizations. So you can add, if there's another customization that you want to add, same thing, you would just add the field title and the character limit and whether or not it's a mandatory field. The next thing then is product options. So this would be useful whenever you are showing different options that the product comes in. So like different size, different color, different materials. You can give them different pricing options. And you can set different sort of inventory tracking as well. So if we click add options, and for example, if you want to give it a color option, so you can see color options, if you've used it before, it will come up here. And you can either show the product as like the list of colors as a list, or you can show it as colors. But it might not show the exact shade of color that you want. So it's always best to maybe just keep it as a list. But if the color, you just type in what color options they are. So for example, red, blue, green, and just every time you type in a new product option, you just want to click enter to add the new option, and then just click add. And then what you can also do is add another option, for example size, and you could do small, and then you can actually specify maybe 20 centimeters by 30 centimeters, and that way people can sort of see actual size options. So it's up to you how you want to add the size options. And then you just click add. So you can see the two size options come up here now. And the next thing that comes up is manage pricing and inventory for variance. What that means is you can actually set specific pricing and specific inventory for each of the options. So if we toggle that, so you can see these are all the variants. So for example, a red yoga mat in size small, blue yoga mat in size small, green yoga mat in size small, red yoga mat in size small, blue large or in size large, blue yoga mat in size large, green yoga mat in size large. So they'll make variants out of all of the, they'll make variants of the variations of the product out of all of the options that you've set, and then it's up to you how you want to price them. So the base price we've set for the yoga mat is £29. So the way you would set the variant is by price difference. So if you know that the small products cost the £29, then you would give it a 0 price difference to keep it at £29. But if you know the large products are £10 more expensive, then you want to set 10 for the large products. So now the red large yoga mat is now £39. And same with the blue one. So if you know that the blue large is also £39, then you want to set the price difference of 10. If, for example, say the green yoga mat in large is more expensive, is like £20 more expensive, then you just set the product as £20, and then that's now a £20 difference between the small and the green large. And then same with this order status or the inventory status. So you can set in stock, or if they're out of stock, things like that. If you know there's a product that doesn't come in a variation, so for example, the yoga mat doesn't cut in large, doesn't come in red, then you can just hide that variant, because you know you don't have that product, you never will have that product, so there's no point in showing that option. But you can always unshow this as well, so you can either show or hide this variant, but it's up to you how you want to manage that. And then you can also specifically track your inventory. So you can either set the status as in stock or out of stock, or you can track inventory and actually give it an amount. That way you're for sure not selling more than what you have, and you're not offering any kind of back orders or anything like that. So you can set them all to its own specific inventory number, whichever one it is basically. But then once you're done, you just want to click apply. And you can see all of the product variations here. And if you ever want to come back to it, you just click edit and just edit the product variations as normal. You can also give them their own kind of shipping weight as well, so people know how much each of the products weigh and things like that. And this will also be useful when it comes to shipping and delivery methods. If there are certain products that weigh too much to be offered free delivery, or the standard fee of delivery, you might want to charge more for that delivery. You would need to set the shipping weight either within here or without the single products as well. If there was no product options, then you would just add the pricing and add the inventory as normal. So you've got the pricing here, and then you can also track the inventory as well. So it's up to you how you want to what kind of product that you want to add. It just depends on if it's a product that has multiple variations, or if it just has just the one version of the product. You would just add the inventory and the shipping weight here. And then you can also set an example for pre-order, so you can let customers buy the product before it's released or when it's out of stock. You can assign them sort of a pre-order, that way they can purchase the product, but then you just have to make sure you're always following up with that and sending out the product afterwards once it's in stock. If you'd like to set that up for a product, you just toggle this on, and you can set a pre-order message. So add a note that customers will see on the product page during the checkout. So things like expected to ship by the end of June or end of March, whatever it is. And you can set a limit. So if the product has a certain limit, it means then only 50 people, for example, if you set the limit to 50, then only 50 people can pre-order that product. And if you have variants, it'll apply to each one individually, so you can't set a limit to each variant individually. All of them will have that same limit. And that's it. So that's your product sort of set up. And then once you're done, you just click save. If you are not ready to show this product, if you realize there's more information to add that you don't have just yet, then you can uncheck this button here that says show in online store. And that way you have the product saved, but it won't show on the front end. So no one will be able to see it, only you'll be able to see it. And then once it's ready, you can just show in store again, and then just click save to save your changes. And you'll be redirected to the products dashboard again once you've saved, and you can see your product there with all of the sort of basic numbers here as well, with the basic sort of what type it is, things like that. We're going to talk about how to add a digital product. So in the last video we added a physical product, which is a product that people will be sent, like it's an actual item that will have like shipping costs, delivery costs, or any kind of collection options, things like that. Whereas a digital item, it can be in the form of a PDF, or it can be an image, and it'll basically be a downloadable product. Once someone successfully purchases it, they will automatically get a copy of it either in their inbox or in their account page, things like that. So once you're logged in, you want to come into products here and then click add product, and instead of physical, you're going to click digital. And the setup is same as the physical product. So the first thing you're going to add is the product title. So for example, if it's a brownie recipe, that'll be the name of the product, and then you want to actually upload the file. So this is the file that they're actually purchasing. So they'll get the links to their digital product in the thank you page, as well as by email. So if you click upload products, so you can choose what kind of file that you want to upload, either if it's an image. If it's image, then it's you have to either upload a JPEG, PNG, or GIF. Audio files, these are the audio files that are supported, so WAV files, FLAC, M4A, MP3, things like that. And then documents, you've got a range of document formats formats, things like Doc, DocX, Excel sheets, PowerPoint, PDF, things like that. And then you've got a zip file. So if there's a folder filled with lots of things, you can save it as a zip and then upload that. But basically you just want to upload whatever it is, and then just click upload media to open up your file explorer. You can either upload from your computer or you can upload from Google Drive, things like that. And you just want to upload the product as normal. So once it's uploaded, you should see it in your site files. Just up here, and then you just want to select that and just click add to products. So that's the link here. That's the file essentially. So they'll receive the links to download their digital products in the thank you page, along with an email link that will last for 30 days. So as previously, so you just want to continue adding the product information. So things like the name, which will automatically be taken in the top part here from the title, and then the ribbon. So this is just a bit of text basically that'll go on top of the image to kind of draw more attention to the product. If it's, for example, a sale item or a new item that you want to put a lot more focus on, this kind of ribbon will be attached to the image, and then it'll just draw a bit more focus on that. Then you want to give it an image, so just a bit more information as to what they're downloading. And then you can also add images if there's any images to go with it. Maybe images of the final product if it's like a recipe or something to build. So you can add sort of different images like that. And then you want to add sort of additional info sections. Additional info can be things like how to use the product, how to download the product, product instructions, things like that. It's basically more information about the product that you don't want to get lost within the product description. So you can add info section here, and it can be how to use product, and then you can add the actual description here, and that way you're adding some more text that's about a specific topic about the product, and it's not getting lost in the main product description. And then you can set pricing. So this can be just a normal kind of pricing, or you can set it on sale. That way, if you set it as an on sale product, it'll show up as a sale product. It'll be a bit more eye-catching, and then you can set the actual sale product here. So if you want to give it a price discount or percentage discount, it's up to you. This field will kind of automatically change itself. So if you want to give it a price discount, this will change automatically. If it's a percentage discount, you can see the price kind of change automatically. Same with the cost of goods. So this is essentially the cost of your goods, but this won't be shown on the product page or to any of the customers. It'll only be shown to yourself. It's just a good way to kind of keep you right, and you know how much product or profit you're making on each product. These two fields fill in by themselves once you fill in the cost of goods. So I fill in the cost of goods as 2, so it's automatically calculated the product and the profit and the margin. So it's a good way to kind of keep that reporting feature on your products, but then it's not going to be shown to your customers in any way. It's just going to be shown to yourself. And then you can track inventory. So if you only want the products to be downloaded a certain number of times, you can set sort of like an in-stock, or you can track inventory. If we set that to 50, then that means only this product can only be purchased 50 times. And things like that. You can set a shipping weight, however this won't be necessary for a digital product as there's no shipping costs involved. And the last thing, then you just want to put it in a collection. So for example, this would be maybe ebooks, but you can assign it to more than one collection. So for example, if there's another collection, we can set it to downloadables. And you can see I've assigned that product to 2 different categories. We can change it to another category as well, so we've got 3 different categories. So you can assign it to more than one collection, and then it'll show on specifically that collections page. And just like the physical products, if you ever want to come back to a product and not publish it immediately, we will just uncheck this show in online store section and just click save, and that way it won't show in the online store, it'll just show in the back end, and you can always come back to it, fix any details, add more details that you need to add, and then once it's actually ready, you can click show in online store and then just click save. You'll be redirected back to the products dashboard, and you'll be able to see your product show up as the first option, just right over here. Yep, so you can see the image, you can see the title and things like that, and you can also see the type, so you can see that it's a digital product and not a physical one. If you've ever got lots of products on your page, it might be easier to kind of filter between the products. So if the product you're looking for, is a digital product, you can just filter by digital product, and also you can filter by whether they're hidden from store, shown in store, or the actual inventory of it all. But that's it. Once you're done, then you would just click OK, and then just add all the products as you need to, whether they're physical or digital. It's all added very similarly. It's just up to you how you want to add those products, basically. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to add categories to your website. Wix call categories collections, and they're used to sort of organize your products and assigning them a specific collection. That way people can filter by those collections, and then maybe even create a page dedicated specifically to that collection. And overall, it'll help people kind of navigate your site better, navigate your products. You can showcase specific products if you want to, and things like that. So once you're on your dashboard, what you want to do is come to Store Products and go into something called Collections. And this is essentially your collections dashboard. By default, there's already one collection, and that's all products. When you add a new product, it's automatically assigned the all products collection, and you can't change that. So from there, you see all the other collections that you'll have on your site. Right now, we don't have any. So what we'll do is we'll click this plus sign to add collection, or you can just click the plus sign up here and click add new collection. If you have lots of collections, what you can do is you can search with this toolbar here and search for a specific collection if you want to edit it, or you can just scroll down and view for the collection that you have. So you want to just click add new collection, and it's going to open a blank version of the collection. So first thing you want to do is add the name. So for example, if this is clothing, this will be the collection name. And then what you want to do is click add products. So you want to add, it'll show you all of the products that you currently have in your store. And obviously in the future, once this collection is created, when you add more products, you'll be able to assign it when you create the product. So you'll add all the products that are already there. And then you want to give it an image. So this collection image isn't displayed anywhere on the site. It's just displayed on the back end of the collections, so that when you are navigating throughout all the collections on your site, it'll be easier to go through them if you have a collections image attached. But this isn't used on the site, it's used on the back end of the site for you to basically make it easier to look for the collection that you want. So you just want to click on collection image, and then either use an image that's already been uploaded to your site, or upload media from your computer library and onto your Wix. You can also use media from Wix as well, and then just select whatever image you think would suit that collection. And then just click add to page. So yeah, once you've added the name, added all the products, added a collection and the image, you just click save, and then you can see the collection now being added. So now you have two collections, you have the all products and you have clothing. If we go back into products, what you can do is you'll see the new collection show up on the collections tab here. So you can see it's automatically being assigned all products, but then you can also click clothing as well. You can also create collections from the product page. So right now you can see there's clothing and all products, but there's also an option for create collection. And again, we will just give it the collection name. So for example, food, and that's assigned to food. Products can have more than one collection. So if there's a product that's both a food item and also a clothing item, then you can assign them both. And that way, if you have a page for clothing, then that item will appear in the clothing section, but it will also appear in the food section as well. So just be mindful of that. But you can add it to more than one product, or you can just assign it to the one product. Now that we've added the food collection from here, if we go back to collections, you can see now in the collections we have three. We have all products, clothing, and we have food. If we click into that, we can add products in bulk from here. So if we add all of these, but then also add an image as well, we can give it an image. You can use media from Wix, or you can upload your own image. But essentially you can always come back to the collections dashboard and make any edits to the actual collection as well. So you've got all products, clothing, food. So you're adding collections both ways. You can either add it directly from the collections page, or you can add it as you're adding products as well. And you can always come into collections to edit the actual collections part. If you're wanting to add products in bulk to the collections, then it's easier obviously to go into collections, go into the actual collection name, and then add products using the add products tool. So then you're not adding one at a time, you can just bulk add them as well. Or if you're adding products one at a time, then you can assign them the collection as you're adding the new product. So it's up to you how you want to do that. But yeah, once you're all done, you would assign all the products, and then that's essentially all the products assigned. Once you have all the collections created, you might decide that you want to have a page dedicated to that product, to that collection. So for example, we have the general shop page, if we go here. But this page displays all of the products, no matter what category or collection that they're in. So you might want to have a page that only shows products that are assigned to the clothing category that we created, collection that we created earlier. So what you want to do then is just add a new page as normal. So we'll just go into Manage Pages and click on Site menu. You just want to click Add Page. And you can either create a blank page, or you can just add a store page and look at the options that you have. So you can just click Add New Shop Page. And what you want to do is first rename that, so you can call it clothing. And then, again, same as the other one, just style it however way you need to. And then what you want to do then is go into settings. And instead of it displaying all of the categories, what you want to do is go into collection and then select the exact collection that you want it to show. So if I click the collection category, you can see now it's not showing as many products, because it's only showing products that are assigned to the clothing category. And now if we style this page a little bit, so same as last time, so make some space to add a title and maybe a heading. Click Add Elements to add a title, add a heading 1, and then just drag that up at the top. And again, you would just edit this, stretch the container, change the font sizes however way you need to, however way that you want to style this page. But essentially you want to let users know that this is the page for the clothing products. And then below they have obviously the shop page. And again, you have the same options as you did on the shop page. So if you go into settings, you can have people filter by the price and product options. They can also have the sorting options as well, and you can decide how you want people to filter and how you want them to sort on your page. And then now you see at the top you've got the tab for clothing, and you can manage that as well. So if you go into the site menu and then click Manage Menu, and then just drag that underneath the shop page. That way now when people hover over shop, they'll be able to see the clothing as an option. So it's just another way to make things easier for your customers. If they know specifically that they want to shop for clothing products, then they can see that within your shop page as well. So when they first navigate to your site and they see shop, then when the drop down comes out, they can see easily the clothing collection. And they can quickly go to that if they need to, instead of having to browse through lots of pages, through lots of products to find exactly what it is what they want. So that's another way to kind of use the categories if you wanted to. So you would add the collection first, assign the products to this collection, and then add the new page and make sure that the shop grid is assigned to that category as well. Now that we have the shop page set up, all the products set up, and the categories set up, now we need to look at Wix's shipping and delivery options. You want to set up a number of different sort of shipping and delivery methods that once they're in place, users can pick from, and then they can pick whichever method suits them basically. So once you're logged in on your dashboard, you just want to go into the settings. And from there, you want to go into shipping and fulfillment. So this is your shipping and delivery section. And the first thing that you want to add is the shipping regions. So by default, Wix stores kind of come with 2 regions already added. One for your own country, so domestic, and then one for the rest of the world, international. And by default, they both offer free shipping. So to edit your local one, to edit your domestic region, you just want to click edit. And then you can see you can add destinations in this region. So within this region, you can see United Kingdom being added, and then you can either select between which one you want to choose, or you can deselect all, or you can select all of them, whichever one. If there's more countries to add to the domestic region, then you would just click into that section here and then add a country basically. And just go through the list and make sure all of the shipping destinations are there basically. And then when you scroll down, you can then apply shipping rates to the region. So there's free shipping being offered, which is just a general free shipping. The shipping option name comes up as free shipping, but you can call it something else. This is essentially what people will see when they select their delivery method. And then you can give it an estimate delivery time, which is optional, but it'll be shown on the checkout page. You can also then decide if you want to add a flat rate. So this is just the same rate that's going to be applied to a customer's entire order. So for example, and you can have different rates involved. So for example, if you wanted to offer standard shipping, you would just type in standard shipping, and then you can give it a business time, or delivery time, so 3 to 5 business days. And then you can give it a rate of maybe $4.50. And then what you can do is then add another shipping option and call it maybe next day. And again, give it a different sort of delivery time. And what you can do then, you can charge different rates basically for shipping. If you know certain shipping and delivery types will cost different amounts, you can offer different amounts of shipping, and then people can pick if they want standard shipping, which will take longer but cost less, or if they want next day delivery, which will take shorter but then cost a bit more. You can add different amounts to each of them. What you can also do is add a handling fee to every order. So this is basically if you wanted to charge a bit more for anything else that might need it. For example, if you're selling anything delicate, you might need to ship with more sort of protective packaging, things like that. You can add sort of like a handling fee to each order, and this will be standard for any kind of order that you have. Another thing you can do with the flat rate is offer free shipping when someone buys over a certain amount. So for example, if you wanted to offer free standard shipping if someone buys over £50 worth of items, you would just click on offer free shipping for this one, and then just click and just type in the amount that they would need to buy, meaning they can get standard shipping for free if their order totals more than £50. Same thing if you wanted to offer next day delivery for free, you would just click offer free shipping, but for this one maybe you want them to spend over £100, and that way they'll get next day delivery free. So it's up to you how you want to use that. So it's pretty flexible in terms of how many options you can have and different things like that. The other thing you can do is do a rate by weight. So if you remember from a previous video, we can add a weight to each product that you add, and then this comes in here basically. So you can basically set a rate for the weight of the total order. So if you want to give this a name, if we call it standard shipping, and give it obviously the business amount, the delivery time. and then you give it a weight range. So by default, you got it starts with 0 to something kg. You can do 1, or you can do maybe 2, whatever that is, and automatically the next range then will kind of take the last weight range of previously, and you can give each of them a rate. So if we set this one to 15, it means if the total order weighs between 0 and 2 kg, then the rate is then £15. If it's 2 kg and up, so if that's the last option that you want to give, then you can give it a different weight. If you want to add more options, you just click add range and then give it a more range as well. And essentially you want to keep the last part blank, so then you have like you always have an amount to give no matter how much they weigh. So you would just add in all of the different rates for the different weights. And again, you can then offer free shipping for that one as well. When they buy over a certain amount, you can offer free shipping. So if they buy over £200 worth of stuff, they get free shipping. And if you wanted to add the handling free as well, you can add another shipping option. So this one's standard shipping, and you can add another one for first class shipping, and again offer different days and different pricing as well for the weight range. And then you can also rate by price. So same thing with the weight. So you'll give the different price ranges, and this is the price of the total basket. So if their basket is between 0 and £50, then the rate would be maybe £15, and then £50 and up, then it can be 0 if you want to offer free shipping, or you can just reduce the amount basically. So you can do different rates that way as well. And the next thing you can do is then rate by product. So the way that this works is you would create groups for your products, and then you would assign those products to those groups. And then when someone were to buy a product for that's within that group, then it will assign the price for that group. So for example, if we click on create groups and call it household items, and then you would just assign, so by default they'll change it all to the household items, but you just select which group those falls in and then just click done. So now you have a product group for household items. So if anyone buys options from the household item groups, then it'll use this shipping option. So the option name might be standard shipping, and then you have the delivery time, and then you would just give that one a price. And then what you can do then is add more product groups. If you click on manage product groups, and then in the drop down here click add new and create a new group, and now you can assign groups to the outdoor one as well, and now you've got 2. And you can see it come up here. So household items have a different rate, maybe outdoor items might be a little bit cheaper, and you would offer basically different amounts for different groups of products. And if someone were to select items from 2 different groups, then you can set that example up here. So for example, apply group rate to each product in the order. That means for every single product that you have, we'll assign that amount to each product. So for example, if they buy 3 household items and 2 outdoor items, it'll apply the rate 3 times for the household items and then 2 times for the outdoor rate. And then the other option then is to apply the group rate once for all products ordered from a group. So if they order 3 household items, it would only apply the household rate once. And if they order 2 outdoor products, then they will apply the outdoor rate only once still. And then you have apply the highest group rate once to the entire order. So it'll only add 1 rate, and it'll just take the highest. So if they select 4 household items and 3 outdoor products, it'll only add the £5 rate, as it's the higher rate, and it'll apply to the whole order. Or if the outdoor rate was, for example, £8 and they order 2 items from the outdoor and 1 item from the household, they'll apply the £8 rate once to the entire order because the outdoor rate is higher. So it's up to you how you want to set that up. But then you can also set different shipping rates. So you can do standard shipping and then first class shipping, something like that, and then offer different rates as well. The other thing you can do then is add pickup options. So if you don't want to offer any kind of delivery or shipping, you just want people to collect their product in store, for example, you just click add pickup and then set up the pickup details. So it's really just the pickup name, so store pickup, or you can call it collect in store. And then you would need to pick up enter the pickup address, whichever the address it is that you want people to come. It could be your business address. And then when will the order be ready for pickup? It's optional, but it'll be good to have. So you can say available today, ready in five business days. Or you can say ready between 3 to 5 business days, something like that. And then you want to give the pickup instructions. So by default, you can use this. Please wait for the notification before picking up your order. Your order confirmation and ID will be needed for pickup. And you can give your store opening hours as well, so they know what time they can pick it up from. And any other information you can add as well to the pickup instructions. But you want to make it as easy as possible and with clear instructions as well, so people can pick up their items easily. The advantage of having just the pickup option is that people can still pay for their items online. So you'll still get payment for it. They just need to go in person and pick it up. So it's not like they need to pay when they pick it up. They'll pay first and then they can pick it up as well. Another thing you can do then is add something called local delivery. So you can offer hand delivery to areas within this region. So that's if you're not using sort of third-party mailing services, if you're not going to use those, what you can do is add local delivery, and you can give it a name. So deliver to Lisbon area, for example, because you know that's an area that you can deliver to yourself, and then you can give it a delivery rate. Maybe that might be cheaper, and then you can offer free delivery if someone orders a certain amount. And then you can set the area either by postcode. So if you know there's postcodes that you can deliver to easily, you can set those postcodes, or you can do it by radius. So you would enter the address, and then you would give it the radius. If it's like a 1 kilometer radius, 15, something like that. And then you would give a delivery time. So you give an estimated delivery time as 1 to 2 days, or you can set up delivery time slots that people can pick. So users will pick the time slots that you have, and then you would just follow that and deliver between that within that time slot. And then you can set a delivery type and conditions. So you can offer same day delivery, next day delivery, or minimum 2-day delivery. And you can set the number of days that way. This is the amount of days, by the way, it takes for the time from when the customer places an order to when it'll actually be delivered. So you can apply all of those as well, and then you can click add area, and that'll add an area. You can add as many areas as you want, so it's up to you how you want to use that. But then once you're done, all you need to do is click save to save all of your options, and that way then when someone selects their options, goes to the checkout, they can select a number of different shipping options that you've selected. So that was for the domestic. The rest of the world then you still have to set. So by default, international rest of the world is set as free shipping. So you can set more destinations to that as well. What you can also do is add more regions. So if domestic would be that one, then you can say Europe as another one. Instead of calling it region 3, you would call it Europe, and then you can add sort of countries that fall in that you would deliver to, and then you can set delivery as well. So you can set delivery for different parts of the world. What you would do is set the delivery that you can deliver to, so domestic, Europe, whatever countries it is, and make sure you have delivery set. And then when it comes to the rest of the world, what you would do is just click into it, and if you don't deliver to anywhere else apart from where you've selected, you would just go into 3 dots and just click delete shipping region. And that way when someone adds in an address that doesn't fall into domestic or the other regions that you set up, users get a message that says, sorry, we don't deliver to this area. So you want to make sure that you set up all of your shipping regions, and then whichever one that you don't set up any shipping delivery for that one, and then it'll come up that we don't ship to those areas basically. But that's basically it. Once you're done with everything, just make sure you save all of that, and then all of the options will show up in the user's checkout page, and then all of the relevant shipping will be added. So now that you have all the products set up and you've got the payment set up as well, and you've got all the shipping and delivery methods set up, now it's time to make sure that your site is optimized for SEO, and Wix have a lot of tools to kind of facilitate that, to make sure everything's optimized and that you have everything that you need. So to start off with the pages, what you want to do is go onto the page that you are wanting to optimize and then click into the page drop down. And then what you want to do is go into manage pages. And you have a list of all the pages here, and you just want to make sure that each of them have all the basic SEO set up. So for example, the home page, if you click on the 3 dots for the home page, and then you see the option for SEO basics, you just want to click that. And you can see sort of the preview on Google, what people can see when this page shows up in search results, and how you can change it. So for example, and this is the snippet here, and this is the page title. So right now the page title is home and the site name. So if you wanted to change the title for that, you would just click into the page's title tag, and you can see there's a character count over here as well. And you can just click in and normal, and then you can see the preview change as well as you're typing. And this is essentially the title and the description, and you're going to use it to kind of explain to the user what exactly this page specifically is about. The next thing that you want to add then is the page's meta description, and the meta description is this description that shows up in search results. It won't show up on the actual page of your website, it's just on the search results section. So when this page comes up in results, people will then read what's that page about, and will it match basically what they're searching for. And just like the title, you would just click into this section and then just type in exactly what the description that you want would be here, and you just paste it in. You want to make sure you pick a description that accurately describes what's on this page specifically, and you're using sort of words that you want to rank for and want that page to rank for. So your description should be under 500 characters, and you can see when you type in, there's a little kind of character count here, so to kind of keep yourself right. The other thing then is the let search engines index this page. This is switched on by default. It just means you're allowing Google to kind of read this page. So you want to make sure that stays switched on. By default, it should already be switched on anyway. So all the pages work exactly the same from terms of the SEO basics. If you go into the About page, for example, and click on the 3 dots and click the SEO basics, and you can see then the snippets show up like here as well. You've got the About, you've got the title, meta description, search engine, indexing the page. One thing that you might need to change is the URL. So as you're adding pages and you're adding blank pages, the URL might not change intuitively, so what you want to do is click into the URL and actually just give it the actual URL that it's meant to be. In this case it's About. But again, you would just switch on, make sure the search engines index this page toggle is switched on, and then add the title and add the description. That's really important as well. For the blogs, it's slightly different. So if we go into the blog section of your website, so you can see I've opened up a blog here. And once you've finished writing your blog, you just want to go into the SEO tab here, and you can see all of the SEO settings on the left here. So similar to the pages, you've got the URL, which kind of takes it automatically from the title of the page. Then you've got the title tag, and then you've got the meta description, and it should already be filled in by taking the first few lines of your post, but you want to make sure that the description is accurate and that it will kind of
encourage users to click on it if they see this in search engine results. Other things you can improve on is the social share. So if you were to share this link on social media, it'll show you how it's gonna show up. So this is essentially a preview. You've got an image, you've got the title, you've got the description as well. And then you can also do Twitter settings as well. So it'll show you specifically what it'll look like on Twitter with the card sizes. You can choose if it's large or small, and it'll give you the preview that way as well. Under the Advanced tab, are more settings that you can use. There is a way also to customize all of your SEO settings for all of your blogs in one go. If you click into this tab here and click go to SEO settings, it'll give you an overview of SEO settings that you can use, and it'll apply those settings to every single post on your Wix site. Things like SEO basics and social share, if you click on that, and you can see it'll take all the information dynamically. So by default, it'll take the post title and post excerpt. But what you can do is, if you want to also add the site title, you just click on, you would add a separator and then click add variable. And then you can pick between what it is that you want to add. So for all of the posts, then it'll also add the site name. And you can add more to that as well. Same with the meta description. So with the post excerpt, by default, it'll show an excerpt of the post. But you can also add sort of like anything else that you wanted to add in terms of like the post title and things like that. And then the search engines indexing your blog post toggle is switched on by default with the social share as well. So by default it'll show the title tag, but if you want them all to show also the site name, you just add the title tag and then add the separator and then add the variable, and then just look for the other variable that you want to add. So for example, maybe the site name. And then you have the cover image as well added, and then you can set the Twitter settings as well. And other things you can do then, you just want to save. So for example, the page URL. So by default, the page URL is going to be your domain name /post/postslug. Which you can keep or add more variables to. And the other thing you can do is add something called meta tags. So by default, the post writer time URL is all set, but what you can do is you can add more sort of meta descriptions if you wanted to. Things like the title tag you can add categories as well. Just depends on what additional meta tags that you want. Typically the defaults that are set for the blogs are fine. It's maybe just this SEO basics that you want to add to, maybe add the site name to all of them as well, just to increase the width of your SEO title a little bit. Another thing you can do is if you go into SEO settings as well, so from the marketing and SEO and go into SEO tools, you can set up the SEO settings for the main pages. And again, so that was for the blog post, but then you can also set up the SEO basics and social share for the pages as well. So by default, you've got the page name, separator, and the site name. You can get rid of the site name if you wanted to, or you can just keep it in there, and you can add more variables to it as well. So by default, you can add like the business name, business description, things like that as a default, basically. If you come into the Get Found on Google tab, you can then use the SEO setup checklist, where Wix will kind of talk you through step by step how to improve your site for SEO. So it'll ask you sort of questions, and then it'll give you a checklist, and then you can connect to Google as well afterwards. So if you click Get Started, it'll ask you for your business name. And where you serve your customers, or things like that. And then you want to write down what keywords that you want to use in your checklists. So you want to think of words and phrases that describe your site accurately and shows what your business kind of has to offer, and you can use words that you want to rank for. They can give you examples. If you click on see examples, there's a few here, and they're kind of short and sweet and nothing too like wordy or anything like that, and you want to make sure that they're all spelled correctly, things like that. And then just click next, and you can see your SEO setup checklist being set up over here. So you would go through and just make sure that your site is following each of them. So for example, set the homepage titles for search results. If you click on go for it, it'll take you to your homepage example, and you just want to make the changes that they're asking for. So for this one, it's setting the homepage title for search results, and it's asking you to basically just change the title so that it is using one of the keywords, and then whichever one that you choose, you just click apply. And then it kind of moves on to the next issue, so something like the meta description, and it'll tell you basically what's missing, so at least one keyword, your business site name, and then the text length. So it's telling you what the issues are and what you're doing well, and then things like that. So then you can also see in step 2, there's also your site pages. There's about 30 tasks, so you can see exactly what's going well, what's going right, and what you need to improve on. So for example, like the about page, everything's fine apart from this one issue, so it's asking you to set the meta description for that page, and it gives you a preview and it lets you sort of fix the issue here on this page instead of having to go into the editor again. So yeah, there's different ways to kind of update the SEO on your site. Either you can go through the editor and make sure all the pages have the title and the meta description, or you can go into the checklist here and it'll show all of the issues and all of the problems in one page basically, and you can edit everything that way. And it's the pages and then also just the blog posts as well. And it gives, this section basically just gives you an overview of what you need left to add. Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to go over Wix's pricing plans. Wix have a number of different pricing plans, each with their own sort of features, including a very basic free plan, which is the one that you're kind of on whenever you first build a site. But as you'll find, there's a lot of limitations to it, the main one being that you can't connect it to your own custom domain. So in order to do that, you would need to upgrade. In terms of pricing, so Wix do offer a free version, but that comes very basic and it doesn't come with a custom domain. It's also really important that their pricing plans is split in two. So there's website plans and then there's business and e-commerce plans. The website plans are good for small to medium businesses that have very basic functionality, like just maybe a few blogs and portfolios, things like that. But if you are wanting to actually make an e-commerce website and actually accept payments on your website, then you need to select one of the business and e-commerce plans. They have 3 different plans for the business and e-commerce plans. There's Business Basic, which is around £15 a month and includes features like the ability to accept payments, unlimited bandwidth, storage, and the ability to remove Wix ads. But it doesn't include features like the abandoned cart recovery or automated sales tax calculations. Then you have the Business Unlimited at around £20 a month and includes all of the features of the basic plan, but also has the abandoned cart recovery, professional site review, and things like that. And then you have the VIP plan, which has everything that the Unlimited has, but it has the priority customer support and access to VIP support as well. Wix also offer this enterprise plans for larger businesses with very specific needs, and this pricing for the plan varies depending on the requirement of the business. And it's something that you will actually need to request a call for. But overall, Wix is very affordable and it's good as like a quick solution if you're wanting to build a good website, a good e-commerce website that still needs to be SEO optimized, mobile optimized, but still has a good design as well. Next up, you have Shopify. Next up, we have WooCommerce, and this is specifically for WordPress websites, and WordPress is one of the most popular content management systems for websites. But WooCommerce is an open source e-commerce plugin for WordPress websites. It's free to download, free to use, and it offers a range of features to create and manage an e-commerce system.
some of the key features includes our product management. So it's really easy to create and manage product listings, including details like name, price, images, and you can also organize products into categories and tags, making it really easy for customers to find what they're looking for. It has a shopping cart. It has their payment gateways integrate with a variety of different payment gateways, like PayPal, Stripe, and Square. They have customizable design as well, so they have a range of template and design options. They have a range of analytics and reporting tools as well, allowing you to track sales, traffic, and customer behavior. It also has a large community of developers and users with many extensions and plugins available to add extra functionality to your site. One of the benefits of WooCommerce is that it's built on WordPress, which is already an established and well-supported CMS, and that means there are loads of resources available for learning how to use WooCommerce, and it's easy to integrate with other WordPress plugins and tools. It's really powerful, it's really flexible solution, and it's suitable for businesses of all sizes looking to create an online store using WordPress. There is some technical knowledge and expertise to set up and customize, however. So the first thing you want to do is download the WooCommerce plugin. So you can download directly through the WordPress directory if you just go into plugins, add new, and then just search for the WooCommerce plugin, and then click install now to install it. And then once it's installed, you just want to click activate to activate the plugin. You can also go onto WooCommerce download, search for it on Google, and then just click on WooCommerce plugin and download it from the WordPress directory that way as well. It's just when you're on this page, you just want to click download and then upload the plugin yourself manually. As soon as WooCommerce has finished activating, it'll take you through to the WooCommerce setup wizard. So it'll take you through step by step exactly how to set up, and we'll also take in any kind of business information to help understand what kind of products you'll be selling, what kind of business that you are. So you want to start off with typing in the shop address, and this will help set up any currency, shipping, taxes in a bit more an automated way. So you start off with the country, the address, postcode, and the city. And then you just want to click continue. And then it'll ask you sort of which industry does your store operate in, and then you would just pick whichever industry works best for your company. And then you want to select what kind of products will be listed. So by default, WooCommerce will allow you to have physical products and downloadable products for free. So you're able to have as many of those physical products and downloadable products as you want with no extra cost. However, things like subscription type products, membership products, bookings, bundles, customizable products, they will require an additional plugin, and they've listed the prices here. For this video, we'll just use it to set up physical products and downloadable products. And then you just click continue. And just a few more questions about your business. Next thing then is you want to pick the theme. So by default, it'll use the theme that you are currently running with. So in this example, we're using the Hello Elementary theme. There are paid themes that you can use, and there are free themes that you can use. With the free themes, WooCommerce have their own theme that you can use as well. For this example, we'll stick with the Elementary theme, as it is compatible with the WooCommerce plugin and is also free. So you just want to click continue with my active theme. And there you go, that's your products all set up. And you'll see whenever you come back to your dashboard, there's a new tab for WooCommerce with a bunch of menu tabs separating for the sub-menu parts. You've got home, orders, customers, coupons, reports, settings, status, and extensions. The WooCommerce dashboards kind of take you through step by step what you need to do. So you've got the first step done, you add a store details. The next thing then is how to add products, set up payments, and things like that. You'll also notice that under the pages, a few new pages are there. So things like the account page, the checkout page, cart page, the refund and returns policy, and the shop page. So these all came with the WooCommerce plugin whenever you first installed it. But if it hasn't been if they're not there whenever you first install it, you can always add pages and add those pages as well in case it's not there. But essentially these pages will be there and when you first download, install, and set up WooCommerce. So back to the WooCommerce plugin. on the dashboard, you'll just see the step-by-step list of what you need to do next, and you'll also get some stats overview as well. You can also change the display. So right now it's single column, you can change it to a 2-column display. In the orders tab, we'll show all the different orders that you'll get as soon as the site is live and people are purchasing it. This will be all orders that are successful, any orders that have failed, any orders that are returned, they'll all be listed here. And any new customers and customer details, they'll all be saved here as well. So if you click into customers, and it'll show you sort of the username, the name of the person that's ordered, the country and region they delivered to, their postcode, and their email as well. And you can also see how many times this person has ordered. Then you have the coupons tab, and this is where you will add coupons here, or vouchers, whichever you like to call it, but they're essentially used to offer your clients a discount on some of your products. And this can be discounts like 50% off, a certain amount off a certain item, off certain groups of items, off your total cart, and things like that. Then you'll also see this tab here, this new tab here called products, and this is essentially your products tab. So all the products that you'll have will be listed here, and these are live products that are publishable, that are published and on the site that clients can see. Same as well as any downloadable products, any draft products, any deleted products. They'll all be set up here, so you'll be able to add in all the products this way. Within the products tab, it's separated in between categories and tags, attributes and reviews. So you can assign custom categories and custom tags to each product to make it a bit more easier to organize, especially if you have lots of different kinds of products. With the attributes, so this is used for something called variable products, and variable products allow you to sell a product that has different variations. So for example, if you wanted to sell a t-shirt, that'll come in 5 different sizes. The size is essentially an attribute of the product, so you can set attributes there, and we'll go over how to set attributes for each of your products. Then you have reviews, and this is essentially when someone reviews an item, they will obviously, it'll show on the site, but they'll also be saved on the back end as well, so you can review what products are getting what kind of reviews. The analytics tab also gets added whenever you install WooCommerce, and this essentially shows you reporting, charts, leaderboards, things like that. So you can see exactly how your products are doing in the shop, and you can sort of control it with the date range here. So by default, it'll show you the month to date, but you can do last week, last month, last quarter. You can give it a custom date range as well, but it'll essentially show you all the order data, and all the product data as well. So you can see your top products sold, your top categories, what day had the most orders, what day had the least orders, and things like that. So it's really good for in a reporting sense, and there's lots of features within that we can go over. And then within the marketing tab is where the coupons are. So they have a separate tab for coupons and vouchers, so that's listed here. If you ever wanted to change the settings, so the shop location, for example, that we changed, that we had added in the beginning, if you wanted to change those details, all you need to do is go into the settings tab. And you can see the store address is listed here. This is also where you can set up things like your tax and coupons. So this section here, enable tax, this will mean that whatever tax rate that you set, it'll be enabled at checkout. If that's selected, then it'll be enabled at checkout. If not, it'll be added within the price. And WooCommerce have really flexible tax rules and tax options that you can set up yourself within the settings as well. Then you have the coupons as well. So by default, enable the use of coupons is selected, which means that coupons can be used. If you were to uncheck this, it means that coupons can't be used. So even if you do set up coupons within the marketing tab, they won't be able to be used because this isn't being selected. The next thing then is the currency option. So you just want to make sure that the currency is correct. So by default, it'll show the currency of the country that you had put in the beginning in the store address. In case it's different, you just want to make sure that the currency is there, that the currency position is correct, and the 1000 separator, all of that is correct as well. Once you're happy with that, you just want to click Save Changes. Within the Products tab, again, so it'll show you all the product settings. So things like shop page, it'll allow you to set what page is your shop page, and that's set by default. So when you downloaded WooCommerce and installed it, they added the shop page for you, and they've assigned that page as the shop page. And you can change the add to cart behavior. So there's two options. You can redirect to the cart page after a successful addition, which basically just means when someone adds a product to the cart, they'll immediately be taken to the cart page. The other option then is enable Ajax, and that just means when they add buttons to the cart or add items to the cart, the page will just add the item to the cart without refreshing, and they'll still stay on that same page, so they won't be taken to another page. This is probably the most popular one, as taking users straight to the checkout would mean that they won't be able to browse. They'll have to, go back to the page that they were manually. It can be good if you're only wanting customers to be able to purchase one order at a time, in which case then yes, you can redirect to the cart page. If not, if you're wanting people to browse traditionally, browse different categories, different products, and add as many as they want, then I recommend just keeping it to the enable Ajax add to cart button selected. Next thing then is the placeholder image. So by default, a placeholder image does get added to your media library, so that's just set in here. And then you can set the dimensions and for the unit and the unit for the weight and the dimensions as well. So by default it's kilograms and centimeters, because the country that we used to set up the address is the United Kingdom, so it's used the measurements used for that, but otherwise you can change it manually to the other measurement units if you wanted to. And then you can enable product reviews and product ratings. So by default these are all enabled, but you can remove that so that they can't add a review if you don't want it to. You do have options within that, so if you do enable product reviews, you can have these options here. So reviews can only be left by verified users. What that means is that users will have had to purchase the product before being able to leave a review. And then you have the option if you want them to leave a star rating as well. If not, you can cancel that option out fully. And again, you want to save changes before moving on to another part of the site. Next thing then is the inventory. So this is essentially the product inventory and things like that. So this is how you would essentially manage stock. So you can manage stock, you can enable stock management, which means you have more control over how many of each product is there, and that way when you are selling products, you're not overselling more than you already have. So this might be a better way to do this. If it's not enabled, then the stock management is auto-managed, meaning that you enter the quantity and WooCommerce will subtract items as sales are made. So if you enter 60 of one of the t-shirts, then WooCommerce will check how many people have bought, how many times the t-shirt has been bought, and then it'll display in stock, out of stock, or on back order. Or you can disable it. If you disable it, then the inventory and status for products must be entered manually, and you can still enable stock management per product if you want to. The other option then is to hold stock in minutes. So essentially, hold products for unpaid order for a certain amount of limits, basically. So essentially, when someone gets to the payment and they want to pay for their products, and for some reason the payment doesn't go through, then this essentially lets you decide how long you want the system to hold that stock for. So essentially they can have, if this is set to 60, then they have an hour to finally process the payment, or put in another card that will allow them to process the payment. After an hour, then the stock goes back up and they will need to re-add the product back to the cart. So if you want to disable that completely, you can just leave that as 0. The other thing then is to enable low stock notifications and enable low out of stock notifications. So low stock notifications means once the product hits a certain amount of stock, then you will get a notification saying, hey, this product is low in stock. And the other one then is to enable out of stock notifications. So when a product goes out of stock, you'll get an email saying, hey, this product is also out of stock. So you want to set the email here, so notification recipients, and then you want to add in the email that is responsible for the stock, and you can add more than one email as well. The low stock threshold, so you want to set a number to what counts as low stock. So for example, if you have 60 items of one product, 60 products, 60 of one product basically, and you want to know whenever the stock hits 10, then you want to set the low stock threshold at 10. So when that product then hits 10 in stock, then you'll get an email saying this product only has 10 left. And then the out of stock threshold you can set as well. That's usually defaulted to 0, but you can set out of stock threshold at a different number as well. Out of stock visibility, so you can choose to hide out of stock items from the catalog if you wanted to. So if you click that, then the out of stock item will not appear on the site. However, if you don't check that, they'll be able to see the out of stock item, but they won't be able to buy the out of stock item. And stock display format, so how do you want the stock to be displayed? So you can show as remaining quantity, so you can have the product say only 12 in stock, only so and so in stock. You can only show remaining in stock, so only 2 left in stock, only 3 left in stock. You can choose to never show quantity remaining in stock, so it'll just say in stock. So it's up to you how you want to decide that. Then once you're done, you just want to click Save Changes. So all of these settings were for the inventory. The next one then is for downloadable products. So WooCommerce let you sell downloadable products, things like PDFs, Word docs. You can send audio files, any files where you can't physically hold or is tangible, and files that you can sort of save on your computer. You can enable that. So within the downloadable products, you can choose how you want people to be able to download it once they've successfully bought it. So you can force the downloads, or you can redirect to another site. This just depends on how you are uploading the products. So forced downloads files are forced to download by some code, then they're not accessible to anyone but people who have bought it basically. And the redirect only is a download URL that links users to the file. So if you have the file saved on like a Google Drive, then you can just set that as a link, and then people can be shown the link basically once they've been purchased. You can most stores only use the first one to keep files safe from outside access. So the redirect one you should only really use if there's a problem with the first one really, or if you don't mind your downloads being non-secure, because the redirect only one is secure if someone it is for other people to get the link if they wanted to. So you just want to make sure you always click the forced download ones. Next thing then is the access restrictions. So if you select downloads require login, that means people would need to log in first before they download, and you can grant access to downloadable products after payment. So this essentially means do you want people to get their products after their orders are processing, so while they're still being paid for, or whenever the order has been completed? So it's up to you how you want to do that, which way you want to grant access, but you do have the option to have either one of those. Next tab then is the shipping tab. So this is where you will control all of the shipping zones. So each country or each area that you ship to, if there's different rules for different areas, you can set them up as zones, and you can have a different rule for each zone essentially. So we'll go over that in another video. And then you have payments. So this is essentially where all your payment gateways are set. So by default, you have these 4 options already installed, except for WooCommerce payments, you will need to install that. But essentially, there's WooCommerce payments, direct bank transfer, check payments, and cash on delivery. Then you have the accounts and privacy page. So this kind of controls how you want people to download at the checkout. So do you want people to download to purchase a product or download a product after without an account, or do they always have to log into or are you going to only allow people who have an account to place an order? You can also, if you decide to only allow customers to place orders without an account, you can allow them to log in during the checkout process. You can also allow them to create an account during the checkout process as well. And the next thing then is the emails. So this is a list of emails that WooCommerce will send out for different events. So there's a notification email for orders that are new, any cancelled orders, and any failed orders. So it'll show you there who's receiving it. So this is for the site owner. And it'll basically, if you click into each one of them, so if you click on manage for the new order one, it'll show you what'll get sent. So it'll show you it's sent to this email. Subject is the site title and the order number. Email heading is the order number, and the additional content is just congratulations on the sale, but you can add more text if you wanted to. But essentially you get an email for every single order that you get. You can choose to disable it. If you uncheck that, it'll disable this email notification, but then you just want to click save changes to make sure all the changes are saved. So those emails go to the site owner, and the other emails goes to the customer. So emails like the order's on hold, the order's been completed, the order's been refunded, things like that. Those are all for the customer, but you can go into manage and decide to either enable the notification, or you can even change the additional content and things like that. So you can change the wording on each of the email content as well. And you can change the styling a little bit. If you go down to email templates, so the from name will take the site name, and the from address will take the site owner's site address, but you can change each of these individually here. Then you have the email template, so you can give it a header image and the footer text. So by default, it'll just show the site title, the date, and then the this bit of text says built with WooCommerce, but you can take all of that out and add in your own bit of text. You can give it your own colors for the base color, the background color, body background color, and body text color, so you can change all of these as well. But then when you have made all those changes, you just want to click save changes. And next is any kind of integration. So WooCommerce does have capacity to have any integrations as well. If you add more plugins, essentially all of the WooCommerce plugins that you want to integrate to will show up here. So if you do install any additional plugins and there's integration there, it'll show up under the integration tab. In the advanced tab, it'll just show you things like your page setup. So by default, this should already be set up when you're already installed WooCommerce and you have these pages. So the cart page, checkout page, and my account page will already be added and it'll already be assigned, but you can change them to a different one as well. The terms and condition page, if it's not set up, you can set one up and then assign the page here. And then secure checkout. So you can force secure checkout, meaning that the checkout page has to be secure before accepting any payment, and that will be a requirement for certain payment gateways, things like Stripe and PayPal. They will require that the checkout is secure, so you want to make sure that this is always ticked. Under the status tab, which is just underneath the settings in WooCommerce, this will just show you the status of WooCommerce plugin itself. So if you are running into any issues with the way WooCommerce is actually running, you need to get some kind of like a system report, or you need to understand the system report, or you've contacted support and they're asking for a system report. Essentially, this is where you would go to get it. You'd go into status and you would just click get system report and then just copy, and they'll be able to look at this and tell you exactly what's going wrong, if there's any issues within that. So like, for example, this is an older version of WordPress, so you know if there is any issues, that could be a reason why that the plugin isn't working correctly. So this is essentially where you kind of debug any errors if you needed to. So yeah, that's it. That's all of the, that's essentially a basic overview of WooCommerce and how to install and download and install it. In later videos, we'll go over in depth a bit more how to add products, how to set up taxes, shipping zone, things like that. So now it's time to talk about some hosting solutions for e-commerce website. E-commerce websites are different to your basic brochure build sites, and they'll have different requirements. Because it's an e-commerce site, there are likely to be more server requests, likely to be more traffic and things like that. So it's important that the hosting provider you pick not only is able to meet the minimum requirements in order for the e-commerce to run smoothly on your website, but also that the support that's available within your hosting provider are competent and equipped enough to answer any hosting questions that you, any hosting e-commerce questions that you might have, and any issues that may come up. They'll be able to sort that for you quickly as well. So just one of those things to think about when you're picking your hosting provider. I'm going to go over some of the top providers that come highly recommended for a WooCommerce website. But firstly, it's important to know what the requirements are for WooCommerce to run smoothly on your website. You can find their requirements on their website in their documentations. So it says here as well, so if your WordPress site doesn't meet the minimum requirements, then it won't function as expected. So it is really important that the WordPress version that you install is up to date and that has the minimum requirements that it's asking for, and the server requirements are just here. So your hosting environment, here's what they recommend. They recommend a PHP version of 7.4 or greater, a MySQL version of 5.6 or greater, or a Maria database version 10.1 or greater. In terms of WordPress memory, they recommend a WordPress memory limit of 256 MB or greater, and HTTPS support. Some optional items that may be required are things like curl or FSOC open support, and it's used by WooCommerce and several different integrations, mainly for payments. So things like PayPal, IPN, Stripe, all of that will need to use this. So it's good if the server requirements that you have also caters for that as well. Depending on what additional third-party plugins you use, SOAP support might also be needed. You can check if your server has the items listed after you install WooCommerce by using the system status page. If you click on this link, it'll show you how to basically get the system status page, the WooCommerce status, and then you can, any issues that you have with WooCommerce, you can always copy the system status and then paste that as a message to the support team of your hosting provider so they can know exactly what they're working with. So to get the system status, all you need to do is go to your WordPress dashboard, and you want to go to WooCommerce, and you want to go to status, this little tab here. And you can see the system report is here, so you just click on get system report and copy for support, and you can also see the server environment that you currently have as well, so you can use that to see if you actually have the correct server environment. But any issues that you have, you can always copy this status report here and send it to your hosting provider if there's any issues, so they can see exactly what they're working with, what your site has, what updates are available if there are any, and things like that. So the first hosting provider that I'm going to talk about is SiteGround. SiteGround is one of the most popular and very highly rated hosting providers in the WordPress community. They provide unique sort of in-house WordPress speed and security solutions to make your site as fast and secure as possible. They have one of the best 24/7 support, and that's why they're also an official WordPress and also an official WooCommerce recommended hosting provider. So SiteGround itself, if you want to get started, they come with pre-installed WooCommerce, free SSL, automatic upgrades, built-in WP caching, one-click staging, and things like that. And they're also one of the few hosting companies that have location-specific hosting with, I think, 3 data centers in the US, Europe, and Asia. So in terms of WordPress, WooCommerce and WordPress in general, they're very competent, and it's something that they offer
specifically as well. So you can go on their website to see all their hosting plans. So you can see they have a mix of 3 plans. They've got the Startup, Grow Big, and Go Geek. And as of right now, they do have an offer for 75% off plus a free domain for 1 year. So their shared hosting options are the best way to build a new website, and also to make sure that they've got the WooCommerce support there as well. So the startup plan is limited to 1 hosting website. It includes a 10 GB disk space, and it's suitable for a website that has around 10,000 visitors per month. And you get features like the one-click WordPress install. They have eCommerce enabled, so they offer free installation of the WooCommerce and a free SSL certificate as well. Then they have the Grow Big, which has everything that the startup offers, including on-demand backup copies as well. So if anything goes wrong, you can create backups of your site as well for up to 5 times every month yourself. Includes 30% faster PHP, and they include a staging environment as well. The differences between these two is obviously you get these extras, but then also it's not limited to 1 website. This one has unlimited website, has a bit more web space, and it's better for approximately people who are visiting approximately 100,000 people visiting your site per month, basically. The Go Geek is also has everything that's included with the Grow Big, but then also it has a free private DNS, which basically just allows you to use a private DNS, so you can choose a custom domain name and brands your host server as if you are the owner, basically. So it's a nice kind of feature to have. They also have priority support. So each of them also have SiteGround are kind of known for their really good customer support. All of these are able to have customer support. However, the priority support just means they'll get back to you a little bit faster. And then there's eCommerce enabled as well. So the Go Geek plan is the best one that's suitable for e-commerce website, as it can handle websites having about 100,000 monthly visitors. And then you get obviously this priority support and more server resources as well, which is really important with e-commerce websites, as it tends to use up a lot more resources than basic brochure build websites as well. So if you are going for a web hosting plan but you're wanting to use one specifically for WooCommerce, I would recommend the Go Geek one. So the main pros for SiteGround is that their servers are very fast. All SiteGround servers are highly optimized for speed, and they use Google Cloud platforms for all their new customers, which is one of the fastest platforms on the market. Their customer support is highly rated. They offer the 24/7 phone support, live chat, and a ticket-based support as well that comes with the plans. Again, just with the Go Geek, you just get the priority support, so they'll get back to you a little bit faster. But the Grow Big and Startup have all been recommended for their customer support as well. The cons of web hosting plans is that there is limited storage. So you can see all of them have a fixed amount of storage. You've got 10 GB, 20 GB, and 40 GB. But the storage is quite large, and if you are just starting out, then you most likely won't need the extra storage. But again, if you are going for a hosting platform for your WooCommerce website, then you want to go for the Go Geek, as it has the most storage and you don't need to worry about buying anything extra. Typically for hosting platforms, their monthly billing is a little bit higher than most. So right now it is on offer for $4.99, $2.99, $7.49, but usually they go for about £20. They go from about £12 to £30, which is a little bit higher than most other platforms. But obviously if you sign up for a longer billing period, then you get a bigger discount and a lower rate. Another good thing about SiteGround is that they do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, and that's on all of their plans, not just one of them. Their sites rank well in terms of performance and test results, so SiteGround is a really good one for hosting your e-commerce platform as well. If you go onto their website and go into WooCommerce hosting, you can see that they recommend sort of the Go Geek as well, and they have, if you are just starting out building your website, it comes with WooCommerce pre-installed, and has all the support as well. So they do have specific support for e-commerce website, which is really important, that the support that you get, the support team are knowledgeable and competent enough to handle any questions and any issues that might come up. which they are as well. So SiteGround is one of the top hosting providers for e-commerce websites. The next platform that's also good for e-commerce is Hostinger. So Hostinger hasn't been around as long as SiteGround has, but it is becoming a well-known name in the hosting industry for WordPress. Their hosting is a little bit more affordable. They have the 24/7 live chat and a really good platform to kind of host your website. Similar to SiteGround, it does come with one-click WordPress install, managed automatic updates, free CDN, but they also offer free site migration as well. So if you have a site already on another platform or another hosting provider, they will migrate the site over themselves at no extra cost. Similar to SiteGround, they also use geolocation specific hosting. However, unlike SiteGround, they offer 7 data centers. So SiteGround would offer only 3. So they have 7 data centers in the US, Europe, Asia, as well as South America. So they have, they are one of the top hosting providers as well for e-commerce websites and just WordPress websites in general. So if you go onto the website and you can see you can see their web hosting plans. So they have a range of plans, and you can see just from the get-go, it's a little bit more cheaper than the SiteGround plans. So they have one of the lowest price hosting in the market. Everything's on sale currently, but you can see they range from $10 to about $30. And obviously the longer billing cycle that you go for, the more savings that you'll have, similar to SiteGround. They have more range of plans as opposed to SiteGround, and they have different features. And this includes sort of hosting, e-commerce hosting, VPS hosting, cloud hosting, and website building, and lots more. So you start off with the single plan, which is limited to just one website, one email account, 30 GB or 50 GB SSD storage, and it's good for sites that have up to 10,000 monthly visitors. And all the other common features such as CPU cores, free SSL, and things like that. The main issue with, I think, the single WordPress is that it comes with weekly backups. So the starter and the single WordPress hosting plans, they only use weekly backups, which is a bit of a risk. If anything goes wrong at any point during the day, then you will have a slightly outdated backup. You can get around this by installing plugins like Updraft or all-in-one migration and doing your own daily backups. But on a server level, they will only do it for you once a week. So again, it's a bit of a risk. If you are using either the single WordPress plan or the starter plan, I would recommend getting a plugin like Updraft to do your own daily backups, so you're not just relying on once a week backups as well. But they do have the data centers. All of their plans come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they also have 24/7 support. And their customer support level is the same for all plans. So if you remember SiteGround, all of them offers customer support. However, the most expensive plan has the premium support, whereas for Hostinger, they just have the normal 24/7 support for all of them, and their customer support is rated quite highly as well, so that's pretty good. Their WordPress Pro plan is the most expensive plan, and that's the one that's suitable for smaller businesses. So this plan includes all the way up to 300 websites. Up to 300 websites. It has got 200 GB SSD storage, and it's good for websites that have up to approximately 200,000 monthly visits. Just like the others, includes a free domain name, SSL. It has free email, and all other sort of the common features as well. So the single plan is a bit limited in that you only get one website and an email account. You only get 2 MySQL databases, and you don't have unlimited bandwidth. And specifically for business or for e-commerce websites, the single or the WordPress starter wouldn't be enough. You would need to get either the business WordPress or the WordPress Pro. Depending on how many websites and how many monthly visits, you might find that you only need the WordPress business and you won't need the Pro.
The good thing about these plans is that, again, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can always upgrade as well. You can always upgrade the plan as well if any time you're running out of space, or you realize you actually need some of the more bonus features that they offer. The main pros of choosing Hostinger is that they, again, have lower price plans compared to most. But again, if you are using an e-commerce site, you want to make sure you use one of these two. They rank well in performance, so their performance and speed is great for the price point that they are offering, and they have really good customer support. So they have really good customer support, which is a really good help for beginners. If you have like not a lot of sort of technical data, they're always on hand to help you, and things like that. And the cons of choosing Hostinger mainly would be the plan limitations. So they place a lot of limits on their entry level plans. But as your website grows, obviously you can use some of the higher level plans. But again, the e-commerce websites would either need the Business WordPress or the WordPress Pro. And the other con is that there's no daily backups, unless you were to go for the Business WordPress and the WordPress Pro, which is what you would need to go for anyway if you're hosting a WordPress site. But just in case you decide to go for one of the other options, so the WordPress Starter or the single WordPress, they only offer backups on a weekly basis, so it's important that you install a plugin like Updraft to do your own daily backups, so you're not having any outdated backups should you ever need them. Hostinger, just like SiteGround, is a reliable hosting company. They have years of experience in shared hosting, so you'll get the right amount of support. They'll have good support as well. In terms of pricing, it beats a lot of other hosting platforms, but there's also cons to that as well. You can see currently Hostinger do have a sale for 75% off WordPress hosting. So again, it's a lot more affordable than most other WordPress sites or WordPress hosting platforms. You can see all of their web hosting, WordPress hosting specifically, if you go into hosting and click on WordPress hosting. And you can see their website as well, and you can see lots of other reviews from verified reviews on Trustpilot, that they do have a lot of good reviews, very easy to use and things like that. If you scroll down slightly, you can see a little bit more of a technical view of all the WordPress plans that they have, and you can see sort of even between just the Business and Pro what the difference are you're getting. I think when you're deciding between the Business plan and the Pro plan, you just want to look at what your site requirements are. It's mainly the storage space and the storage space and the monthly visitors. That's the main difference as well. So if you know you're a site that gets quite a lot of visitors, then the Pro would be good. If you're not, then the Business would be good, and you can always upgrade. And also just depends on how many websites that you have. So the Business has 100 websites in their plan that you can use in their plan, and then the Pro has 300. When you're starting out, you might want to just start out with the Business and see how that goes, because you can always upgrade at a later date as well. The 24/7 is included on all of them. And it's the same level of support, so there's no like premium support or anything like that. It's 24/7 customer support for all of them, and they get back to you pretty quickly with anything as well, on the phone or as a ticket as well. And you can go through this list essentially and just see if they have all of the WordPress requirements as well. Compare that list with the WooCommerce server requirements, and then you'll be able to see, okay, which plan is actually good for you, which plan isn't. The next hosting platform I want to talk about is WP Engine. WP Engine is a really popular WordPress hosting, and they only do WordPress website. So you know that they're a very competent hosting platform to go to. As well. They offer really fast and hassle-free hosting, automatic security updates, daily backup, things like that. And because it is specifically WordPress hosting, that you know that all of the support team that
will be sort of competent and equipped enough to handle all of any issues that may come up and any questions that you might have. Especially if you're a business that don't want to kind of deal with the technical side of running your e-commerce website, then WP Engine would be really good for that as well. And now they also have premium themes, and they're all free with your WP Engine account. So if you're just starting out, they've got a bunch of themes that you can use that come with their hosting plans as well. So to look at the hosting plans, just go into their website, and you want to just go for under products, you want to go into WordPress hosting, and you can see their plans here. So it's not laid out as clearly as the others, but essentially you go through this drop down and you can see their pricing plans, or even if you go into pricing here, you can see all their plans and what they're kind of good for. So with the WP Engine plans, it is a little bit more expensive than what you might be paying for on some other hosting platforms. They do have higher costs, but you need to look into the services that they offer. So you split between 3 plans: Manage WordPress, e-commerce solutions for WooCommerce, and Advanced Solutions. And you can see their annual plans, and you can see if they want to do the monthly plans as well. Obviously, whichever plan you go for, there are offers with it. So if you go for any annual plans, usually that would be £288, but they have an offer currently for getting 4 months free. If you go for a monthly plan, they'll give you £5 off your first month. Obviously, you'll get more savings essentially the longer your billing plan is. But if you look at the annual plans, so the solution that you would probably go for is either the e-commerce solutions for Woo and Advanced Solutions. So they guarantee you to making your store up to 40% faster and 18% better at driving online sales for about £39 a month. And that's with the sale. So what you can do is their plans are really flexible. So this is the e-commerce solution for Woo, but you can also build your plan, because within that there's more options that you can have. So you can really customize your plan to what you actually need. So you're not paying for anything that you don't need, and you are paying for things that you actually need. So if you start up with the lowest version of this plan is £19 a month, with an offer as well. And that's just the startup, so you can assign that to one website. It's good for websites that have up to 25,000 visitors a month, 50 GB bandwidth, and 10 GB storage. And with additional costs, you can add more sites to it for £13. You can also have an extra layer of security. You can add that for another £20, and then for another £3 you can get site monitoring. So they'll monitor your site constantly and let you know of any errors, any potential plugin errors, things like that, pretty fast. So you can really customize each of your plans, and make sure that you have all of the equipment that you need, and you're not paying for anything extra. As you increase that, you can see the main thing that changes are the number of sites that you have, for the visitors per month, the storage, and the bandwidth. So if you, for example, know that the plan that you have, you need it for 3 sites, it goes from 1 to 3. So if you need it for 2 sites, you can just start off with the startup and just include another plan. So that works out a little bit cheaper than the professional. So you would kind of go through and just really pick exactly what you need. If you know you need lots of storage, then you can go for the scale plan, and that gives you 50 GB storage, 500 GB a month. So this is really good in that you are picking exactly what you need, and you can really customize your site to how you need it. If you have any issues, you can always talk to their support plan as well, to their support team. If you aren't sure what kind of features you would need, then it's really important that you get in contact with them, and they'll be able to walk you through what kind of plan you'll need. They'll be able to understand how much storage you need, how much bandwidth you need, things like that. And what you can do also is, if you put it to dedicated custom, this is good for sites that, if you know you're going to have more than 30 WooCommerce sites, if you're going to have a lot of 400,000, if you're going to have a lot of visitors per month, so approximately 400,000 and above, more than 50 GB storage, if you know you need more than 500 bandwidth, what you can do is, so it won't give you a price, this is essentially a custom plan, And what you can do is then get in touch, and then you'll be able to talk to their support team, get a really good understanding of what plan would be suitable for you, and what they can offer, and give you a custom pricing based on that. So while their prices do start off a little bit more costly, you get a lot of features. It's a lot more of a tailored plan to you as opposed to a standard one plan fits all kind of solution. You can really customize the plan to exactly how you need it, so you know you're getting your money's worth and everything. It is more expensive, but the services they offer are really worth the investment, basically. So this is essentially the plan that you'll go for if you want an e-commerce solution. And because it's a hosting platform that specifically deals with WordPress websites, then you know the support you'll get will be competent and enough for you, so that even if you're not technically minded and you don't want to handle so much of the technical side of running your WordPress website, you can just hand everything over to WP Engine, and they'll do like your site monitoring. They'll protect your site, make sure the site is fully optimized for speed and performance as well. You can see down in this grid, if you switch the tab over to e-commerce, you can see a really kind of clearer laid out version of what you're getting for each plan. So you've got the startup, professional, growth, scale, and custom. So this is essentially these plans here that we talked about in the beginning. So it's essentially just an easier way for you to kind of view the plans. But you can see what you're getting in terms of sites, the number of sites, how much bandwidth, the local storage, things like that. And also any extras that you're getting. So and you can see what's counted as an optional add-on and what optional add-ons you can get depending on what plan that you choose. So again, the startup, professional, growth, and scale are all e-commerce plans that you can purchase and add on anything extra. And then you've got the custom. So if there's anything, if you have a slightly bigger site in terms of storage and you need more bandwidth, or if you have more sites than the 30 that they offer, they can give you a custom pricing on that. Apart from so far from what we've seen, WP Engine is a bit more costly. However, you are getting a very specific plan, as opposed to a plan that's just giving you lots of things that you don't actually need. What's also really good is that they have the 10 premium themes as well. So if you're just starting out and you're not wanting to hire a designer or anything like that, you can choose from one of their themes, and you can always contact their support if there's any issues even setting up your WooCommerce website as well. So the main pros, I think, of choosing WP Engine is the security. So WP Engine keeps your site protected with lots of security features that a lot of hosts don't offer. Things like the SOC2 Type 2 resort. So this allows you to kind of check logs and user permissions, so you know exactly what's happening on the site, and lots of other things that a lot of other hosting providers don't accommodate for. And they have really fast loading times, so their servers are optimized for WordPress. They have their own technology that kind of helps you load WordPress websites faster, and you get access to CDN, which boosts your performance even more. WP Engine platform is really reliable, so they can handle traffic spikes really easily without slowing down your website. And they have an expert support system for WordPress, so their entire support staff is comprised of sort of trained WordPress experts to help you with any kind of WordPress issues that you're having, either with hosting, setting up your site, getting started, things like that. It's an incredibly popular post that gets a lot of good reviews from a lot of customers, namely for their reliability and their excellent customer service. Some of the bad things about choosing WP Engine, we mentioned before, they have higher costs, especially when you compare it to the likes of SiteGround and Hostinger. But again, you get a more tailored plan to you, and they offer a lot of things that are kind of worth the investment. And another thing that WP Engine do is that they disallow certain WordPress plugins on your site, either because they conflict or they do the same thing as WP Engine's already existing features, or if they cause a higher load. So this includes a lot of caching, backup, and related post plugins and others. If you want to see a full list of their support of disallowed plugins. If you just go on to their website and then just go on to support, you can see the support center here. They've got a list of disallowed plugins. So some popular caching plugins like WP File Cache and WP Total Cache. So a lot of these features they already have within their servers, so they don't allow those kind of plugins. Any backup plugins, again, they don't allow, and you can basically just go through this list and see if there's any plugins here that you think you might need. And a lot of reasons why they don't allow this is because they usually offer those services that those plugins do anyway, and sometimes they conflict with the hosting platform themselves. So it's really important that you check that before you go and purchase a plan with them as well. But other than that, it is a really good platform, really good support, and if you're just starting out, again, it is higher cost, but it's good value basically. The next hosting provider I want to talk about is Bluehost. So Bluehost is one of the oldest web hosts around. It started in 1996, and it is now one of the largest hosting providers and brand names when it comes to WordPress hosting. They do other types of website hosting as well as WordPress, but they are an official WordPress recommended hosting provider. With Bluehost, they guarantee site speed, especially when there's a lot of traffic. They have 24/7 expert support, which is always there to help you with any hosting issues that you may have, or even just website issues. And they have sort of phone support, email support, and live chat. They have been rated #1 in web hosting for small businesses, and on top of that, they have a range of different plans to kind of help you decide which plan would be best for you. So to see what plans they have, what you want to do is go onto Bluehost website, and you want to just go onto WordPress hosting. You can also click on WooCommerce to see what they offer in terms of WooCommerce as well. This is essentially what you'll be looking for when you're building your WordPress website. So they have specific plans for WooCommerce, and they have specific plans for basic WordPress hosting. If you go into WordPress hosting here, WordPress hosting and online stores as well. So if you go back to WooCommerce here, you can see, so their plans are split in different billing cycles. So you can go for 1 month, 12 month, and 36 months. The 12 months has a lot of the savings, so you can save up to 60% in online store and 60% in online store and marketplace, 40% and 50%, and then obviously with the 1 month there's no kind of online savings apart from the discount that they currently have right now. So obviously the longer the billing cycle, the more savings that you have, which is kind of standard with all the other WordPress hosting platforms that we've seen so far. So the plans are split between just online store and marketplace. So online store is perfect for if you're just selling online on your website, all your products, booking appointments, reservations, things like that. Its features include the website analytics, 100 GB SSD storage, which is a generous amount of storage, a free domain, Yoast SEO as well, already installed, free SSL. And you also get additional plugins as well, things like the gift card plugins, booking and appointments, product search and filtering, and this is the plugin provider. It's a really good third-party WooCommerce plugin provider as well. Additional features that you get are the daily backups, automatic WordPress updates, and secure online payments, as well as unlimited products. The online store and marketplace, it's good for if you're selling online and across different marketplaces like Etsy, Amazon, eBay, things like that. So it includes sort of multi-channel inventory and allows you to sell across different channels as well. Other differences between that is that there's amount of storage that you get. So obviously with the online store you get 100 GB, and with the online marketplace you get 200 GB storage. Again, a really generous amount of storage that you get. You get the free domain, free SSL, and the Yoast SEO as well. Everything else is the same as the online store, however you just get the more storage, and you also get multi-channel inventory as well. If you click on compare plans, you can see a little bit more of a grid listing of what you're actually getting. So the two plans are really similar. I think unless you are actually selling to the different marketplace, having just the online store is just fine, because 100 GB SSD storage is quite a lot. for your website. It has one of the most affordable prices compared to other. It has really good customer support as well, and they also have one-click WordPress install. But their domain renewal prices are a little bit more expensive. So it's $8.22 a month for the first month, and then when you renew it, it goes back to £20. So it is your initial costs are quite low, but it does afterwards go a bit higher as well. So another con might be that they have a lot of these add-ons here. So unless you already have, or if you're planning to already get these plugins, you're essentially paying for something that you might not need might not need it. So yeah, they have a lot of upselling during the sign up. You can uncheck these whenever you're signing up, but essentially they do offer a lot of things that you might not need. If you're not planning to have a booking and appointment system, if you're not planning to sell gift cards, then this entire thing is something that you might not need, in which case it's a little bit it might not be as much value as initially thought. It's very different to the WP Engine hosting, where you can specifically choose what features that you want. So it's different that way. But there are no kind of hidden charges when you're signing up for your account. Even these plugins, you can sort of choose if you want them or not. They also have a 30-day money-back guarantee as well with all of their plans. So you can sort of test it out and see how you feel about it, the plugin as well. With both their plans, you get a free domain for the first year, which is really good if you haven't already got your domain. And you get free CDN and SSL. For each website you get a free SSL and free Cloudflare CDN to block malware and improve security. They do quite well in performance tests, so they have quite high speeds, and they have high performance as well. So another thing again to consider is the customer service. So it's really important again just to choose a web hosting company that offers help and support it when you need it. Bluehost has a huge library of articles. So if you go into resources and go into their blog, you can see a range of different articles that they have that you can kind of read through, especially even for on WooCommerce as well. You can see a lot of options here. So they have a lot of articles, a lot of step-by-step guides, a lot of video tutorials as part of their knowledge base, and this is really good for beginners. It's also really good if you have common issues that they can be resolved with just like a simple search. If you are a little bit more technically minded, or if you want to be able to manage a lot more of your website yourself, then it's good that they have this kind of knowledge base that you can read through. However, sometimes you may need to talk to an actual person to get more help if you're unsure. Bluehost offers a 24/7 support system where you can talk to the support team using live chat or phone support, and it's really useful when you need quick help from a support staff, and they are literally just one click away. So it's really good if you need some help really quickly as well. Bluehost is number one web hosting provider by many websites. They have a lot of hosting options, and they are really competent in terms of the WooCommerce plans. If you're just starting out, you can sign up and always test it out for 30 days. If it's right for you, obviously keep it. If it's not, you can always get a full refund as well. As your site grows, you can upgrade to a higher hosting plan as well. It is a beginner-friendly web hosting company. They automatically install WordPress for you when you sign up. They also have an easy-to-use control panel, and this help. And again, there's plenty of guides, plenty of support, and everything in their knowledge base that's free and easy to access as well. So it is definitely a good one for beginners as well. And their support is very good as well. When you compare it with something like SiteGround and another one like Hostinger, Bluehost does offer a little bit more value for the price. Their price starts at $275 per month and a free domain, where SiteGround starts off at like $5 a month. It doesn't include a free domain. Bluehost, just remember their domain renewal prices, their web prices are a little bit more higher. But SiteGround has better speed and security features, so it's different things to kind of think about when you're first starting off and building and choosing a hosting platform that's kind of right for you. The next hosting platform that is ranked highly by users using them is the DreamHost WooCommerce hosting. So DreamHost has been around for like 18 years. It's known to kind of make web hosting easy. You do get a custom dashboard, you get one-click WordPress install, automatic WordPress updates, and you also get sort of unlimited space, bandwidth, and free SSDs to kind of make your site really, really fast. And again, just like SiteGround and a lot of other hosting platforms, they are an officially recommended WordPress hosting provider. So you can see on their plan, they've got lots of different plans for specifically WooCommerce hosting plans if you scroll down. And you can split it between monthly and yearly. Obviously there's more savings if you were to use the longer billing plan in the yearly. So it's split between DreamPress, DreamPress Plus, and DreamPress Pro. DreamPress is one of the starting ones. It's good for if you only have just the one website that you're kind of just starting out. You get the free domain if you haven't already got one. It's good for websites that have up to approximately 100,000 monthly visitors. They have unmetered bandwidth, so you don't need to worry about sort of over usage fees. They have 30 GB SSD storage, which is a lot of storage anyway. WordPress comes pre-installed. There's 24/7 WordPress support, and you also have the free automated WordPress migrations as well. So this is really good if you're just starting out, if your business is quite small, because you can always test it out and keep building your website. And if you realize you actually maybe need more space, or if maybe you have another website, then you can always upgrade. But this is a lot of good features that you have when you're just starting out as well. So it starts off at $16.95 a month, which is a little bit more expensive than what we've seen from other hosting platforms so far, but again, you do get a lot for it, and including the 24/7 WordPress support as well. Then you have the DreamPress Plus, and again, it's perfect for WooCommerce stores that are already established, that have higher traffic and maybe need a bit more storage requirements. So it's got 60 GB SSD storage, which is a lot higher than the 30 GB SSD storage that you get with DreamPress. This kind of helps make your website a little bit more faster. It's really important, especially for e-commerce websites, that it loads as fast as possible in order to not lose any kind of sales. It's good, again, for websites that have approximately 300,000 monthly visitors, and everything else is more or less the same. You get the one list, you get the one-click staging, you get the unlimited email, but just anything extra, you actually just get the unlimited CDN as well to help make your site just that much faster. Ensure that all the content gets loaded as much as possible, or as fast as possible. So again, if you want to start off with DreamPress, and maybe if you realize actually you're getting more traffic, you need more storage, you can always then switch over and upgrade to the DreamPress Plus. With all of these, you can upgrade and downgrade as you need, so there's no commitment or anything like that. Then you have DreamPress Pro, which is $71.95 a month, which is quite a jump from $24.95 to this to $71.95. It is a very costly platform hosting plan. However, you do get 120 GB SSD storage, which is very generous. It's good for the larger high capacity WooCommerce stores, especially if your WooCommerce store is something that needs a lot of performance. It's good for sites that have over or approximately 1 million monthly visitors, so you definitely want to make sure that the site resources that are allocated, or server resources that are allocated to your site, is a lot. It is a lot of money for this one plan. However, you are most likely to not get any kind of site timeout, site delays, performance issues, or anything like that because of the amount of SSD storage that you're getting. And you also just get the unlimited storage as CDN as well. If you click here, you can see a little bit more of the performance, and you can see what you're actually getting for yearly and a monthly. With the ticket support, you actually get priority support with the DreamPress Pro. I think you get it with all the plans actually. No, so you get it just with the DreamPress Pro plan. So they'll go back to you a little bit faster, and you also get the money back guarantee. I think. Yeah, you get the money back guarantee for all of your plans as well. So you can test it out, see how you feel about it as well. So DreamHost is award-winning hosting. It's known for great customer support. It is an officially recommended WordPress site. If you are just starting out with WordPress, they have one-click WordPress install, so you don't even need to worry about sort of setting up WordPress in that sense. It has free domain, SSL, and privacy, and it also has automatic daily backups as well in all of their plans, so it's a little bit better in that sense. You don't need to worry about installing a plugin like Updraft and doing it yourself. There's no free email, which might be a little bit of a con for you, at least just for the starter plan. So it just depends. The other thing about their support is that it isn't immediate. So DreamHost has set times for their live chat support and an email as well, email-based ticket system. So if you submit your ticket within, like, outside of these times, you're not going to be seen to support immediately. This can be a bit of an issue if there's something that you're struggling with, or if there's an issue that's a bit pressing. You won't get seen to immediately. Email support is 24/7, but their live chat is between 5:30 and 9:30 Pacific time, I think. So you can request a callback for an additional fee. They have a really comprehensive knowledge base and forum on their website, similar to Bluehost, but a lot of reviews mention that though their support knowledge is really good, they don't have access to immediate support on the phone or live chat, and that can be a bit of a problem. So if you are a beginner and you don't have a lot of technical knowledge or anything like that, then you want to make sure that the hosting provider that you pick does have the 24/7 support, so that with any issues, if there's anything pressing that you need immediately, there is someone on hand to help you. If you're someone that can sort out sort of smaller issues, common issues yourself, if you have a bit more of a technical background, then maybe this isn't so much of a problem for you, as you can sort of manage a lot of things by yourself. So it's just one of those things to be aware of when you're choosing a hosting platform, your own kind of background and technical knowledge, and how much help you think you would need. Lastly, the last platform I want to talk about is HostGator. So HostGator hosts over 10 million domains. It's one of the most popular web hosts in the industry. Similar to the other websites, it offers one-click WordPress installation, but it also guarantees a 99.9% uptime, and it also has 24/7 support. It is a really good choice for any kind of website owner, and it's one of the best web hosting platforms for businesses specifically. So on their website, you can see some of their plans that they have. They've got plans between Hatchling, Baby, and Business. So obviously, if you're an e-commerce platform, the business plan is the only one that you have. So compared to like WP Engine or DreamHost, they don't have sort of varied plans for e-commerce websites, but even the business plans are still pretty affordable and includes quite a lot. So you can see with the business plan, it's not limited to any single to a number of websites. It has unlimited websites, includes email, unmetered connection or bandwidth, free SSL, and free SEO tools as well. They also have a free domain included, I think, for the first year. Yeah, so they have one free domain name if you haven't already got one as well. You can see the WordPress hosting with all of their plans. They have a 45-day money-back guarantee, which is a lot more generous than the other plans that kind of offer 30-day money-back guarantee as well. And they have the 24/7 technical customer support with all of their plans, not just one of them. So the platform itself is very reliable, again with the 24/7 customer service without any downtime. Performance-wise, they rank really highly on performance testing, and they have flexible billing periods, so you can choose between sort of monthly and yearly as well, with obviously it's a little bit lower cost if you were to go for the yearly. Another great pro is that they offer 45-day money-back guarantee. Normally, web hosting companies offer money-back guarantees for about 30 days. The fact that you get a full 45 days is quite generous. HostGator also offer free migration. So if you're already hosting elsewhere, their expert team will transfer your website for you at no extra cost during the first 30 days of sign up. It is a slightly higher monthly pricing, so their yearly pricing is fine, but their monthly pricing is a little bit more. You can see it's currently on offer, but they do have a little bit more pricing that way. And again, they only have one kind of business pricing for WooCommerce websites, whereas the previous platforms that we've seen, like DreamHost, WP Engine, they offer a bit more flexibility in terms of WordPress e-commerce websites. So there is a little bit of limitations from that. Other plans that they have, those, so like the hatchling and the baby, they are good. I would kind of recommend just having the business one for your e-commerce. Obviously the hatchling, you only get the one website, but the baby plan, you do get more than one website. Apart from the shared web hosting, they also offer the website builder, which is a fully hosted website builder. And other services they have is like VPS hosting and dedicated hosting as well. Their VPS plans offer really good value for money, and their shared hosting plan is a little bit overpriced, I think, for what you get. Their main plan features being install WordPress with one-click installer, free SSL certificate, easy to control cPanel as well. That's available to you. They have free email accounts, 24/7 customer support, and the 99.9% uptime guarantee. With the baby and the business, you can host multiple websites and domain names under the same hosting account. And you can activate the free Cloudflare CDN to protect your website against malware and attacks and caching as well. The free website CDN also gives you additional performance boost. During the checkout, though, you'll be asked to purchase CodeGuard and SiteLock. You don't need them right away, so you can skip them later if you want to. In terms of their support and customer service, HostGator has one of the best ranked customer services compared to other hosting platforms. You can reach out to the support team at any time via phone, live chat, or ticket-based email support, which is really good if you compare to something like DreamHost, where their live chat and their ticket support system is, within a certain amount of time. And most HostGator customers are satisfied with the quality of the support that they receive. So it is quite satisfactory, their support. So it is one of the best ones. If you compare it to something like Bluehost, they're pretty similar when it comes to their resources, their bandwidth, the disk space, and things like that. Some people might say that the Bluehost user experience is slightly better because they've invested quite a lot in their WordPress platform. Bluehost has a smaller overall advantage in terms of performance, but HostGator does have a slightly cheaper hosting plans and the 45-day money-back guarantee. It is a good web hosting provider, but in terms of running an online store, it is good as well. But if your website were to grow in terms of traffic, you may need to upgrade to a virtual private server. And again, their plans are quite limited in terms of their what they offer. So the top three hosting providers would probably be SiteGround, Hostinger, and WP Engine. The SiteGround overall has the best WooCommerce hosting plan for growing businesses if you were to use the GoGeek plan. Hostinger has a really good value and they have extremely affordable plans, whereas WP Engine is really good for a larger e-commerce site, especially for people, I think, who need a bit more technical support. WP Engine would be really good as well. There are lots of hosting website solutions that haven't been mentioned, but they're also really good for WooCommerce. Hosting platforms like Flywheel, Kinsta, and Cloudways all come highly recommended. These are just the kind of top 5 that we would kind of recommend in terms of pricing, customer service, and performance as well.